at first there was a lot of hot takes on Twitter about this. Let me go ahead and share, like, here's a negative one. It's like, oh no, I feel really bad for the Meta OS team. They had another. I think this is
It's all good.
this is another failed one. It just failed for an entire minute, and we aren't going to watch it. But basically, they just had a couple of features that didn't work. Right? They had a few features that didn't work, and here's a couple of reactions. You had somebody's like, "Oh, I feel really bad for the OS team," but then you have these two, and this ended up taking a lot more of the sentiment. You're laughing at Zuck's demo, but he innovated more than Tim Cook in the last 5 years. And then, to be fair, this is 100% accurate. So you started to see a lot more people have that take and be able to see how Meta is trying to push what is currently out there. And so, yeah, props to Mark Zuckerberg for not being afraid to go on stage and risk looking like a failed product. But I think that it ended up bringing more publicity to their product than just about anything else that could have.
Yeah.
So
do you want to pull up Sawyer Merritt's really quick? There's a link to Sawyer Merritt's, and this is a good concise bullet list. And so a couple of things that are both pros and cons here. So right, color 600 by 600 pixel resolution. That's one of the first things that people kind of nag on this a little bit. And it's a tricky thing because 600 by 600 is way higher resolution than the previous versions. I think the other ones were 480 or something, but just lower. But ultimately, at the end of the day, people who are demoing it saying 600 by 600 resolution is not going to get the job done. The 20% degree of view, the 5,000 nits of brightness is actually one of the really strong points that people said. They said even out in the sun, you can actually stare at the sun and still be able to see the image, which is actually part of the huge innovation. The 2% light leakage make it hard for other people to see there's a display. That's the other part, is that no one knows that you're seeing this. And that's one of the other things that's got a really positive. The gesture control is one of the big things too, because so they're actually strapping the thing onto your wrist, and then it can feel the motions of your hands. And so you can just have your hand even behind your back and be doing things, and it's not requiring it to be in the field of view so that you can actually still be motioning. That's some of the things that's a pretty, that's a really cool, impressive thing. And they're saying it really works. Like all the reviews on that say that actually works really, really well. The other part too is comes with transition lenses for the brightness adjustment. I know it's one of the things I struggle with is walking around with two pairs of glasses, both regular and sunglasses. And so their innovation here list is actually pretty impressive. And so I've got to give my hats off to Meta here and say this is some good innovation.
Yeah. So the $1 million question is, if you were handed a pair of these, would you use them?
If you like this clip, make sure you check out the full Startup Hack Live video here because we've got lots more for you today.